first tournament appearance in program history. I'll start with a simple one. How does it feel to lead Hartford to their first tournament?
You get the job here, Matt, and all you hear is can't. And in the America East, we're the only private school, all 9 other state schools. And, for a long time, we were knocking on the door. The last 4 years are the best 4 years in school history. We've lost some brutal games. I mean, brutal. UMBC down there when down 26, come back, take the lead. We've had we were knocking on the door, and last year it got canceled. So the pain of that, we were in the title game last year. So we've elevated, and it just feels like a dream. It became a reality.
You mentioned that last year you're in the America East Championship, didn't get to play it because COVID-19 shut everything down. So what does it mean to guide all of the returning players on that team back and be able to get it done this year?
It feels like 1 year. Like we really waited for this week for a year. And when you sit in that mindset, you expect to win. Like, we're not waiting a year to lose. And you saw it in the way we played and the way we defended.
Coach, in the America East semifinals, holding Steph Smith, I believe he had 11 points, about 4 of 15 shooting. Your defense is really what got you here all season long. It's top 25 in the country. Who are the key players that have got to defend against this Baylor team?
Well, I think, let's start with the Vermont game for a second. Last 10 years in New England, the number one winning percentage in New England is Vermont. John Becker's the head coach. He's a high major head coach. He's the guy wins. So you have to go up there, and if you're going to beat them at their place, you have to play a great ball game. So the respect we have for Vermont is they've elevated our league. And I must say this, our league doesn't get the credit it deserves. There's other leagues out there that I'm stunned. And take the top 4 teams in our league every year, and they can play with any team, any mid-major league, anywhere. And frankly, they could play anywhere. If high major teams went to Vermont, they would struggle. Because John's done that good of a job. So I think when you look at how we defended Steph Smith, it was at an elite level. This is the best defensive backcourt we've ever had here. With Carter, Tracy Carter is the best defender in the country. I really believe that. And then Austin Williams, with the job he did on Obadiah Noel in the title game, that's the best scorer in our league. He had 15 points on 15 shots. So I think really we have to defend at an elite level. They have an array. I was up till 3 a.m, just watching film, going through stats. They're a team that shoots 41% from 3, number 1 in the country. You really can't have live ball turnovers against them. I'm studying how, all the Big 12, how the Big 12 teams defended them, and there's no easy answers. So we got to keep on chewing on it today. And then, by tomorrow, we have to have our ball screen coverage in, because our best strength is our ball screen coverage.
Coach, I will stick with one thing you mentioned there, and it's how good the America East really is. And I totally agree with you on that. And another thing that kind of sticks out to me is, Connecticut. Here's a small state, but you got a lot of D1 programs in Connecticut, all across that tri-state New England area. How tough is it being able to recruit and lead a team in a mid-major conference like this, which is a one-bid conference, and get these guys to the tournament?
John Beeline, when I got the job, called me and said, there's 270 schools, 250 schools east of the Mississippi. I forget the exact number. Go where they're not, because you haven't won and you have to do things outside the box. And listen, we got guys from Jersey. We got a guy from outside of Boston. You have to find them, but it's you're knocking heads with so many schools in New England. when we've found a way to get it done and recruit at a pretty high level.
I'll get back to this Baylor game now. I think there's multiple ways to look at it, but is the way you look at it that, every team is 0-0 right now going into the tournament, and maybe how do you get that out of the players' minds that, yes, Baylor's the 1 seed, but it's Hartford versus Baylor, 1 game, whoever wins goes on?
Matt, if you know anything about my personality, that's the way we do it. I mean, we're Hartford, they're Baylor. We got to go compete. There's no bad teams in this tournament. There's just not. I'm telling you, if you're here, you do things well enough that you can win games, and we have to stay on that path of having a detail about us and not saying, "Wow, we're happy to be here." We have to dive in, and look, I can tell you that I got pages and pages and notes on them right now, and we're not just saying, "Hey, it's happy to be here."
We talked about the defense a little bit. I do want to speak about Austin Williams real quick. He's had a pretty good run the past couple games, shooting efficiently at that too. Just wanted to see what you think about his presence helping Hartford basketball on the offensive side.
I think we have him 2 more years after this year, Matt. I think he's the best player in the league. And that's, looking forward, if you want to go to the 30,000 feet view of our program, he should be the best player in the league the next 2 years. And he has to take that mindset on and that leadership going forward. But in a game like this is his type of game. I mean, there's going to be a lot of flow to it. And he can play inside out. He could even play point for us. He's as versatile as a guy. He defends can defend 4 positions. So, his value is, he could do so many things. And we are going to need it at 3:30 on Friday.
Coach, I'll end with this. It's been done before, but why is your team capable of pulling off another monstrous upset?
Because we pray. No, I think, look, this is going to be the hardest game we play. The respect we have for Baylor, how they do it. If you're going to do it, you got to make threes. And where there's games out there, we've made a lot of threes. And then you got to defend the 3. And if you looked at our last 2-year numbers, we're top 20 in the country. Last year, we're number 1 in the country. This year, we're 19. We defend the 3. That's one thing we do. So we have to do that again. And then we have to finish possessions. We got to rebound. And then we have to, one of our strengths is our half court execution in offense. And you got to execute them. And you got to see on the floor who's the weak defender, if there's any, and you got to run your offense through that.
Well, Baylor sub 180 over the past, since they came back from that COVID break in their defensive efficiency. So we'll see if that half court offense does work out for you. John, thank you so much for your time.
Matt, it's always good. If you need anything, let me know, buddy.